Hello minions! Good news, exciting things. We get to plant some tomatoes. So here's my envelope from the Canadian Space Agency, the Tomatosphere program that works with the Canadian Space Agency and NASA. I actually got these back before spring break, but I left them at the school and had to go get them. Inside this is a piece of paper with information telling me about the seeds. You should have received 2 seed packages. One is the control group, while the other is the treatment group. They're to be planted all at the same time. And now it tells me to plant them on a Wednesday or Thursday, but that really only matters when you're in the school because it takes about a week to germinate, so you don't want to plant them on Friday and have them germinate over the next weekend. But since I'm doing them at home, we're doing it today. And then once they have started growing, we're going to record how quickly they germinate. We'll get into what germinating means later. So here's the 2 packages. Now this is what's known as a blind experiment, where we have 2 packages. One is labeled N, one is labeled P. I don't know which one of these is the seeds that have been into space on the space station and exposed to microgravity and vacuum. Only the Tomatosphere people know which is which, so we won't know until we submit our results to them at the end, and then they'll tell us which one it is. So we're going to plant these both separately and see what happens. Now I'm going to post some pictures of what these seeds look like up close because they're super duper tiny, but to start with, let's see. So this is the group labeled with the letter P. And I'm just going to pull out one seed so you can maybe see it. Look how tiny that is. Camera doesn't even want to focus on it. I'll take some good pictures with my good camera. Now, what do we need to grow these? Well, for it to be a scientific experiment, the conditions they grow in need to be exactly the same for every seeds. We can't have some growing in a pot with soil, more soil, less soil, different soil, more water, less water. They've all got to be the same. So what we do is we use these little mini greenhouses. Those of you that were in my class last year have seen these before. The way it works is they've got this clear plastic lid so light can get in, but the heat from that light stays in there so they stay warmer. Inside of these are these little flat compressed dehydrated soil pellets. And we use these again so that the food that the seeds get is the same for all of them. Now the fun part and the first step is we need to rehydrate them. So I'm going to turn the video off for now and I will come back because what we need to do is pour a bunch of water in here and it takes about 20 minutes for them to soak up the water and grow. So stay tuned. I put water in about twice as tall as them. We're going to check back in a bit and what you'll see is really neat. The water is going to vanish. So it's been about 10 minutes. The water is gone. There's my finger. There's my finger. And these have soaked it up. I'm actually going to put some more water in. But you can see how they've gotten quite a bit taller. That's because when you suck all of the moisture out of dirt and squish, squish, squish it, it doesn't take much space. But when you put water back in, oh, it needs a lot more room. So we'll check back in another 10 minutes and see where we're at. Back. The trays have soaked up all the water. Now you could see before they were super thin, now they're thicker, but they're really squishy because they're full of nice moist soil. And as we know, one of the things that tomatoes and other plants need to grow is good healthy soil, lots of water, and sunlight. Next step, now usually if we were in the classroom, I'd be giving each one of you one of these tiny little seeds so you could plant it yourselves. But since you can't, I'm going to do it for you. Now, these closed on one end, open on the other end. You want the seed to be about 1 finger joint below the soil. And the way we do that is we take one seed, we put it in there, and we just kind of give it a little bit of a tap down. So it's not too far down, but it's far enough down that it's under the soil. So you can see it in there. So I'm going to carefully put one of these in each of the little soil pellets. And then we're going to find a place in my apartment that gets some good sunlight. And that's where these are going to live for the next month or so while they start to grow. So stay tuned. I'll be back.
Now the last part is we put the lid on. Now I didn't put seeds in those yet. We're going to come back to those ones. So that's that one. And that was package the letter P. There, yeah. And I'm going to tape that to the side so I don't get confused. Now we're on to the screen. Butter in. The seeds, where's my camera, are completely identical. No difference between the two bunches. Alright, perfect. Same number of seeds in each group. Alright, turn those over. So we remember there's nothing in those ones. And put the lid on. That's it for now. Catch you later.
Fun little bit. Reusing the trays from last year. And the letters are on there.